Alright, so I'm going to show you how to build these posable figures using cardboard, straws, and pipe. You can use anything you can find around the house though. Corks, these are craft sticks, skewers. There's lots of different ways that you can make these. Lots of different shapes, sizes, and colors, and ways to be very creative with them. So go ahead and substitute materials or decorate them up the way you want to. There's so many things that you can do with them, and then you can pose them. We're going to just pull some cardboard out of the scrap recycling bin. We can cut those into 1-inch strips to make it easier to get our pieces. I'm going to use about 3 pipe cleaners per figure, a little bit less than that, and about 3 straws. Tools you're going to need: hot glue gun. This is a low temp hot glue gun. That's plenty of what you'll need. Ruler or tape measure or something like that. Anything to mark with so that you can draw lines and make marks so that you can cut to the right size. I prefer to use a pencil myself. And then a pair of scissors, of course. So we're going to need 5 5-inch pieces of pipe cleaner, 8 1-inch pieces. And for straws, we're going to need 4 1.5-inch pieces and 5 1-inch long pieces. We're going to need 2 pieces of 1x2 cardboard, 4 pieces of 1 3/4, 2 pieces of 1 1/2, 2 pieces of 1x1/2, 1 piece of 1 1/4 by 3-inch, and 2 pieces of 2x2. And these last 2 pieces, we're going to cut those into these trapezoid shapes. So I'm going to show you how to do that here. Okay, so I've got my 2x2 first, and this one we're going to make a couple of marks. These are actually going to be the torso. I'm going to make a mark 3/4 of an inch from the top on both sides, and then right in the middle of the bottom we're going to make one about 1/2 inch apart. Don't be too crazy with this. It's just fine if you make a little mistake. It doesn't have to be exact. But once I connect those lines, I'm going to go ahead and cut those with a scissors. And then it's pretty easy from here to make another one. We need 2 of those pieces for the torso. I'm speeding it up so I can get through that really quick, but go ahead and cut another one out, and they should line up back to back. The next trapezoid is going to be for the head. So we're going to take that and make marks on both sides, 1/4 inch from the top. This is very similar to how we did the other one, just a different shape, and 1/2 inch apart right in the middle of the bottom. Connect those dots with lines, and then go ahead and cut that out. We really only need 1 of those. So this is what we're going to use for the head. It seems kind of funny right now. So got the torso, got the head. So first things with the head is we want to take that and bend it around. So I kind of smush it in between my fingers and I roll it around. So what I'm going to roll that around into a circle just like that and attach it there. And that'll make kind of the shape of a head. So we'll add some hot glue to one side here on the narrow part and curl that around. And then squeeze it in tightly there. So you want to kind of move it around so it's straight. You see I get hot glue on my fingers. If you do that, go ahead and just rub it around. It cools off instantly, especially if it's touching a piece of cardboard that absorbs all the heat from it. So now I have it nice and round and in the shape of a head, and you can kind of see that lower part would act as the chin. Take one of my 1-inch straws, put some hot glue on it, and I'm going to stick it to the inside of the back of the head. So it'll be a straw going right through the back of the head. That's where the neck is going to come up and attach to the head. Okay, now time to put the torso together. So I'm going to take my torso piece and one of my 1.5-inch pieces, get those lined up. And the bottom piece is like just not quite touching the torso piece, and a good strong bead of hot glue right down the middle of both of those. Okay, and then quite quickly grab one of the 5-inch pieces of pipe cleaner, line it up with the bottom of the rectangular piece and just kind of stick that into that bead of hot glue. You don't have to get it in there real tight or anything, just kind of get it in so the glue makes contact. All right, good. So let's move on to the feet and the legs. These are the feet, and I'm going to draw a little line here so you can see this is where I'm going to put a bead of hot glue to start with. Notice it's kind of to the back of the feet, but not touching all the way to the back. So I'm going to put a good strong bead of hot glue there. And next step is to take a pipe cleaner, and I'm just going to bend an L shape at the bottom of that, just about less than a half an inch or so. Like I said, the measurements are pretty arbitrary, just something close to that. Bend another one, and I'm going to stick that down into the hot glue as well. Now you could sit and hold these until the glue sets up enough that they can stand. Doesn't take that long. These little 1.5 inch pieces that we made. Um, all I do is I put glue on the back of those. Those are just there to help shore up, strengthen how that pipe cleaner attaches to the foot. I just put it over the L shape that we bent into that. Squeeze that nice and tight. Get any of the hot glue that comes off of there or that squeezes out of the edges. Same thing with the other side. Glue up the piece, push it down nice and tight to the top of the bottom of the L shape in the pipe cleaner. Good. Next. So we're going to round off the corners of the feet. All we're doing is making them look a little more like feet and less like squares. If you like a more robot-y look, that's okay too. You can leave them square. And this is where you can get as creative as you want to. Okay. Now we're going to start using 1.5 inch pieces of straw. Those over the pipe cleaners. We're going to actually glue them into place right there. So there's going to be two of them on each leg. So I'm going to put a little bit of hot glue on the pipe cleaner. Sorry, I kind of didn't realize I was off camera there. Slide the straw over the pipe cleaner. And I kind of, you can't see it real well here. I bend the pipe cleaner just a little bit and slide the straw over so that the glue is inside of the straw and doesn't get caught on the edge of the straw and all get pushed to one side. I'll try to do a little bit of a better view here. So I'll get the glue on the pipe cleaner and slide the straw over. And right here, you can see I'm kind of giving it a little bit of a bend, and the edge of that straw is going over the hot glue. And I'm bringing it down to where I'm just sort of touching the other straw, not overlapping, not a big gap, just barely touching the other straw. And I go ahead and I repeat that very same couple of steps on the other leg till I have both straws on. And now I have two standing legs that I can set aside for now, and we'll come back to those when we assemble the final body. Okay. So now we're going to build the hands and the arms. So these smaller square pieces are going to be the top and bottom of the hands. And just sort of cut those into a little bit of like a U shape, and I sort of round the corners a little bit just to make them look a little more natural. Um, just like the feet, you don't have to do this if you don't want to, or you can do something different if you want, but I'm just trying to make them look a little bit more like the palms of a hand. So I'll start by putting one bead of glue down the middle of two of them. Leave the other two aside for now. Grab another 5 inch piece of pipe cleaner. I'm going to let about half an inch stick out past the wide end of the hand. You can see right there, it's sticking out a little bit. That's going to end up being one of the fingers. And then this next piece, same thing. So I'm working on both of the hands at the same time. You saw I got a little glue on my fingers there and I just rubbed it off. It didn't even feel hot. Okay. So now that I have that, I'll put a couple of beads of glue to each side of the pipe cleaner. See, I have that on both sides of it. Then I'm going to stick two of the 1 inch pieces of pipe cleaner to each side of the piece we already have glued down. So I add two over there, and we'll add two to that side. And then we have that hand put together for the most part. We'll let that dry for a bit and we'll finish it off. We'll do the same thing to the other hand, 2 pipe cleaners on each side. We're going to let that dry up just a little bit. Good. So we will take the other 2 hand pieces that we cut out, and on one of them, we're going to put a pretty good amount of hot glue on that, and then press it down onto that hand. And what we want to do is give that enough of a push to allow the glue to squeeze down in between the pipe cleaners and down into kind of the fuzzy edges of the pipe cleaner. Just allow the glue to get a really good grip on them so that the fingers stay in place. That's one hand. We're going to go ahead and do that to the other hand. And now our hands are done. We're ready to start to put the arm pieces on. So now we're going to take the 1-inch pieces of straw. So we have 4 of those left. We're going to do these just like the legs. Put a little bit of hot glue on the pipe cleaner. Slide the straw over the hot glue, bending the pipe cleaner just a little bit so the straw can get over the glue. Then push it down. Put the next piece on for the upper part of the arm. Slide that over just the same. And again, straws should be very close to touching. You can see my cut marks are lining up pretty closely together there. So that's how we're going to do one arm. We're going to do the other arm exactly the same. Good. Now we have the 2 hands and arms completed. We have the 2 legs completed, and we have the head completed. We're ready to assemble the entire torso. So here are all the pieces that we have put together and ready to put all together into the whole body. We had the head, the torso, the hands and arms, legs and feet. Okay. So we'll start with the legs and we'll take those, and you can see how the parts that are sticking out from the straw, the pipe cleaner that is sticking out from the straw, needs to fit onto that lower piece of cardboard. It's a little long. I'm going to cut a little bit of the pipe cleaner off so that we can get it to fit into the cardboard and not stick out the edge. So I'll put a couple of beads of hot glue on the edges of the cardboard, kind of out near the right and left edge. And I will go ahead and push the pipe cleaner that is sticking out from the straws. You want the straw right where my finger is pointing. You want it just below where that piece of cardboard is. That's got to be able to move around. The rest of the pipe cleaner that's sticking out can stick right into that hot glue. It catches pretty quickly, so you can see where I have it connected. Then there's one more piece of that 1.5-inch cardboard. We'll go ahead and glue that and then push it over the top of it, just like we did the palms of the hand. So zigzag hot glue, push it down and then push it down just enough that it gets the glue in between the pipe cleaners, and a little bit might squish out the sides. Let it air out a little bit, cool, and then you can kind of swipe it right off. Okay. Good. We got the legs in there. Those are nice and strong. It'll stand our figure up pretty easily right now. So, arms. So the arms line up at your sides. If you look at how you stand, usually your hands are in that position. They're not kind of facing forward or backward. So I have them to the side, and then I'm going to make an L shape with the remaining pipe cleaner that's sticking out from the straws. Similar to the legs, I'll go ahead and put a strip of hot glue on each side, going horizontally across so that I can stick the pipe cleaner into the hot glue. Goes right in there, then that piece sticks right in there. Good. So the same as everything else here, we're going to lock that in with our second piece that we cut the trapezoid shape from. So I want that side down, so I'm going to stick hot glue on the other side. We're going to have to put, a fair amount on here because this is a bigger piece. Looks like I need a new stick of hot glue. I'll stick that in, squeeze out the zigzag of hot glue. And then we'll go ahead and push that down over those pipe cleaners and over the other torso piece. And we have an assembled body. Okay, so you can see I'm pushing kind of hard. I'm trying to get the cardboard to touch in between the pipe cleaners, so that'll really help to make it stronger. So now cannot have a headless figure, so it's time to slide the head on. Remember the straw that we glued to the back of the head. Run that right over the top of the remaining pipe cleaner. Now you can situate that. You want to have a long neck, a short neck, or really how you want them to look. Normally, I take the chin part and I align it just a little bit below the shoulder line, right about there, maybe even a little higher. We'll see what we do here. So, stick a little bit of hot glue over the pipe cleaner, slide the straw of the head over, and you have a few precious seconds where you can make some adjustments to it. So make sure you move quickly and align that head to where you want it. So now we have a completed figure put together. Now with the hands and the head on there, you have to work a little bit to get it to stand up perfectly, but you can pose it and make it wave or sign language, or you can do stop frame animation, all sorts of cool stuff.